All right, if you're a contractor or a construction professional and you're wondering why you need contract bonds or surety bonds, that you might also know them as bid bonds, performance and payment bonds, maintenance bonds. If you're wondering why you need these things, what kind of things trigger an event that a bond would actually react to, here's what they are. Hi, Ryan Hanley here, founder and president of Rogue Risk, where we do insurance differently, specifically by giving you knowledge and information to make the right insurance decision. If you enjoy this content, please smash that like button for us. That tells YouTube to show this video to more contracting and construction professionals like yourself. All right, so basically I have this little presentation that I give to some of our middle market clients about bonding. Just bonding is something that we often do in the contracting and construction industry out of habit. If we want to put a bid down on certain types of jobs, we have to go get a bid bond, and if we win, we got to go get that performance and payment bond. But oftentimes we don't understand exactly what could happen. Why would the bond actually pay? Obviously we don't want it to, because we want everything to go straightforward, and we want everything to work out the way that it should, but that's not always the case. So why do things go wrong? And just wanted to walk you through the items that I had here that talk through. So the first 5 of these 15 are kind of managerial related problems. You could have inadequate accounting, finance, and project management systems, right? So just you've outlined certain things, costs don't meet, maybe you're kind of slushing cash flow around to different jobs trying to make things meet, and something happens, eats up all your cash flow, and now you can't perform on a job, or you can't actually go back and pay your laborers or your subcontractors. Personnel changes, business strategy changes. We've had before in the past contractors start jobs and then literally the whole direction of the company will shift. That was because of a merger, and in the middle of this fairly large project, that contractor just kind of veered off and didn't get back to it in time, and that was kind of a messy situation. But those things can happen. Over expansion, too much growth, right? Like you're too spread out and you can't actually perform on the conditions in terms of the contract, which is really when a performance bond triggers. Is you can't make good on the conditions and terms that you put into the contract. So or just a lack of proper ownership, right? So if you're watching this, you're probably like, that will never be the case, I'm the best owner ever. But if you're watching this and you're the one that has to buy the bid and performance bonds, and you're not the owner, then maybe you're going, that could actually happen. But the deal is things happen. Someone could pass away in ownership, and the next level is not prepared or whatever. But these are all some reasons why the terms and conditions of a performance bond aren't met. You could have a shortage in labor and materials, right? Like you could just not, like right now, it's incredibly difficult to get lumber. It's incredibly difficult to get certain types of metal materials, fasteners, all kinds. If you need to rent equipment, if you need to buy equipment for a job, it's incredibly difficult to get it, especially if that piece of equipment or material has to come from overseas. It's almost impossible. And if you are, rates are 4, 5, in some cases 6x per container to get them across the ocean. This is obviously 2021, middle to second half of 2021, but I don't necessarily see that changing anytime soon. And you could have unrecoverable cost escalations. That would be the increase, like you say, in materials costs because of container charges or whatever. There's a lot of uncontrollable factors that could trigger a performance bond. Again, performance bond being triggered by not hitting, again, talking in general terms, not hitting the terms and conditions of a contract. The lead contractor on a different job could not pay, right? So you could just cash flow management, severe weather, unexpected economic failures, just the market could tank, difficult contract terms or working environment. You can have changes in the job site conditions. There could be massive flooding. There could be all kinds of things. Like a big part of a performance bond triggering, it isn't always that the principal, the person who took out the bond, the contractor, it isn't always that they just did something wrong. Stuff happens, weather happens, life happens, the economy happens, and when it does, that's what the performance bond is for. You could have death or illness, departure of necessary employees. We'll talk a little bit about that with leadership. You could have labor shortages and difficulties. Labor shortage is a major issue right now, for sure. A lot of people don't want to come back to work. A lot of people have found other employment. other ways to make money, and they just don't want to be on the job anymore. Material and equipment shortages or price increases. This would be if you needed a big piece of equipment and you just can't find it, or if you need to purchase a piece of equipment for a job and you can't find it, it's holding up the job getting done, and because everyone's stretched so thin to begin with, maybe you can't bring someone else in. The point in going through these 15 for you is really, and these are just 15 that we talk about, there are many more ways in which a performance bond could trigger something bad could happen, is that there are things both in your control and out of your control that could trigger a performance bond. And because of that, that's why the performance bond is a safety net for the investment of the person who is paying you to do the job. And by you, the contractor or construction professional who purchases that bond from a surety company, you are essentially creating that safety net for them. It definitely creates a level of reliability. It creates a sense of professionalism in your work, and ultimately it is often required to get the job. If you need a performance and payment bond done quickly, if you need to get a quote, if you're just interested in what pricing is, or if you just need a bond right now, we've created an online resource that allows you to get a quote, pay, and get your bond certificate mailed to you via PDF in a matter of minutes in some cases. Go to bit.ly/roguebonds. That's bit.ly/roguebonds. There's also a link in the description below this video, which will take you to that site. Just punch in the information necessary. You'll get your quote. If looks good, if you want to move forward, you pay for that bond, get your certificate right away. If you have a more complex issue or if you have questions, give us a call, 518-960-6600. That's 518-960-6600. You can email us at gorogue@roguerisk.com or visit us online at roguerisk.com. Whichever way you choose, we look forward to working with you.